Hare Krishna, Manoj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Voice is clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Can you locate where we were there?
Last time, Prabhuji.
4-5 people have said that we are ready, but Krishna Mataji said is ready, Manos said is ready, Nupur said yes, I'm ready.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes. Then what is that? Take it. Now this is another size. Yes, Manoj. We can locate where how much we have done. Last time we didn't do about this, no? Hare Krishna, Manoj.
Yes, Prabhuji. Last time we were doing that presentation on Vaman. Yes. Vaman Dev Jayanti. Vaman Dev Dwashi Dwas, I think. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Manoj. Even though Manoj.
Hare Krishna,
Oh,
Prabhuji.
everybody is ready. Oh. Hey, Manoj, why don't you
Yes,
share
Prabhuji.
that PDF file? You can share, or I share. You try. Why don't you try? Or you want me to share?
Yes, Prabhuji, you share, please.
I share. You share. Oh. This information on account. Name. I have to. Why don't you share that file? Can you locate that file with you?
I'll try, Prabhuji.
Search. I have to go to. Just Preeti, 1 minute. We're just trying to figure out. You can use the PDF I saw. That's very, very nice. Okay, chalo Kirtan. Somebody start Kirtan. Preeti Mataji. You start. Prerna Mataji. Okay, here it
Please
is.
have you join in sometime, Prabhu. She will come.
Okay.
Hey Krishna Prabhu. Manish Prabhu, can you start the Kirtan because my children are around? They may disturb me.
Then who will sing?
Okay.
Manoj, I have told to find something. Ah, Prerna Mataji, you can start. Sujata Mataji, you can start.
Okay, Prabhuji, I'll
Yes.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने।
Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine.
नमस्ते
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य सतारिणी
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda
जय श्री कृष्ण
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita
गदाधर श्रीवासादि
गौर
भक्तवृंद।
भक्तवृंदा
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare
हरे
Rama,
कृष्ण
Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare Hare,
हरे
Hare Rama,
हरे राम
Rama
राम
Rama,
राम
Hare Hare,
हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम
Rama
राम
Rama,
राम
Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे हरे हरे
Hare
राम
Rama, Hare
हरे राम
Rama, Rama
राम
Rama,
राम
Hare
हरे
Manoj,
हरे
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes.
I found it.
हरे राम
Hare Krishna. I've pinned the link as well.
Krishna,
In our chat.
Krishna,
So,
Hare
yeah.
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
I found it.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hello.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Chalo. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chalo. It's like a court. We have a big bench. Today we have big bench. When one person cannot decide, then 5 people decide. 6-man bench. So we have big bench today. Okay. PDF document. Open by this. Yeah, Manoj, which one we were in? You all can see. I'm going. Waves, flowers. You were talking about the path, no?
Yes, Prabhu. The path is covered by the grass and it is not used.
Yeah, this is the
This
one.
one. This
Yes,
one.
yes, yes. So nice it is. We continue from this. Yeah, 13th we did. Okay, na? We do start with the 14th. Now it's good. You can see the
That we
picture
did.
also together.
Yes, Prabhu, we did.
Fantastic, no? Chalo. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Just wait. There is video conference code. We'll give that access. I'll make it live on my Facebook. Yes, who will read? Nupur Mataji, you are able to see today or you're outside?
Yes, no, I'm at home only. Is this we're still continuing the Krishna book or what is this one?
We are doing the Krishna book through Light of Bhagavata, that description of autumn. You know, there was a Krishna book part called Light of Bhagavata, which there is a chapter where description of autumn season is there. So with every description of autumn season, we can relate it to some spiritual instruction. So there is a wonderful chapter. You're not joined this discussion before?
No, no.
Okay, that's very interesting. So Prabhupada, for this part of Krishna book, he wrote a book, understand? There is one portion of Krishna book which goes as a book itself, which is called Light of Bhagavata.
Okay.
Okay, so we are in Krishna book, but here it's explained with the picture, what we have written in Krishna book without it. So we came out that without a picture we can read and discuss nicely. Okay. So you read this 14th. Can you read it?
Yeah, yes, I can read it.
Yeah.
Okay. The lightning becomes unsteady in its friendship, failing to remain faithfully in any one of the clouds, although they are friends of the entire world, just as a lusty woman do not remain steady even in the company of men who possess excellent qualities. During the rainy season, lightning. Oh,
This we have done. Rainbow also we did without liberated person. Yeah, 16. At night.
Okay. At night, by the grace of the moonlight, the clouds in the sky can be seen moving. Yet the moon itself appears to be moving, just as the living being appears to be moving because of false identification with matter.
Preeti, we did this also.
No, no, Prabhu.
Chalo. You are able to read the text?
Yes, yes. At night in the rainy season, the moving clouds reflecting the moonlight make the moon appear to be moving. This is called illusion. The spirit soul or the living being is the root of all the activities of the material body. Because of the illusion, the spirit soul remains covered by the gross and the subtle material bodies. Thus covered, the conditioned souls identifies with the material body and thus becomes subject to the sense of false ego. This false ego obliges a living being to consider his material body to be his self, the other of the offspring of the body to be his children, and the land of the birth of the body to be an object of worship. Thus, the living being's conception of nationalism is another type of ignorance. Because of ignorance, a living being identifies himself with the land of his birth and moves with the misconception of national ideas. In fact, however, a living being does not belong to any nation or species of life. He has nothing to do with the body, as the moon has nothing to do with the moving clouds. The moon is far away from the clouds and is fixed in its own orbit, but illusion presents scene in which the moon appears to be moving. A living being should not float with the misconception of the temporary body. He must always know himself to be transcendental to the bodily identity. This is the path of knowledge, and complete knowledge fixes the living being in the orbit of spiritual activities. The spiritual living force is always active by nature. By illusion, his activities are wrongly directed in relation with the body, but in the liberated condition of complete knowledge, his activities are conducted in the spiritual devotion. Liberation does not mean stopping activities, it means being purified of illusionary activities and becoming transcendental to relations with the gross and subtle bodies.
Liberation does not mean stopping activities. Okay. This is understood. Who will explain this? Manoj, you can explain this? Easy.
Hmm. Yeah, probably. Right. So as in the rainy season with the moving clouds, um, the moon, we see it as an illusion that uh, moon is moving. Similarly, in the Prabhuji, would you like to please explain?
You know explanation. What happens? The wife is looking at you now. How is he explaining?
Yeah, Prabhuji, they are making some noise here. So,
No, it's very simple. What is happening is that who likes to explain? Preeti knows. Did you get the meaning, Nupur Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, I got
Yeah.
it.
Explain. Yeah.
Um, so they say that the soul is the soul they're comparing the moon to the soul and the moving clouds with the illusionary energy. So they're asking us to be still like the moon and not move with the clouds, meaning not move with the bodily. Once the soul is in the body, it is obliged to accept the body as himself, and then whatever he does is for his body. That's what he thinks, but it's actually not like that. Um, so they're asking that you have to be still like the moon and let the moving clouds go away because it's illusionary energy.
Correct.
You have to
Now,
let
but
it pass.
another point here is that the moon appears to be moving. Did you note that point?
Yes, yes,
But it's not
yes.
moving. What does that mean?
So when we are in the body, we feel that um, this is our body and we are moving with the illusionary energy. But actually, it's not. It's not
Nothing
like
is
that. The
happening to us
soul, yeah, the
because
soul doesn't
we are identifying with the body. Because we are
body.
identifying with the body, we think something is happening. Correct? Just like we are
Yes.
identifying moon with the cloud, but both are totally separated.
Yes. And
Correct?
moon is still far away from this moving cloud. So
Yeah, soul is
similarly, the
far
soul
away
is
from this body. Yeah,
far away from this body. Yeah.
correct. Great, great, great. You got a powerful example there, Anna. This is such a nice
Yes.
symbolism. You see, they are looking at nature. I don't know how when you saw the moon last, Manoj.
Yesterday.
You saw her. I've not seen so many days. Preeti,
I saw the full moon here.
have you seen the moon? Hardly it happens. By evening, we are inside and we are doing work in the lit room. We hardly go out and look where is the moon. Have you seen the moon? No.
No, many days.
Anna, I am very rare. We don't see. Sujata Mataji, did you see the moon last? When did you see? Yeah, very rare, very rare. We hardly see the moon. So anyway, the point is this that very nice point. Anupur Mataji just got it. That we identify the cloud with the moon, and when the cloud is moving, we think the moon is moving. So similarly, when somebody dies, it's just the body which has collapsed, but the soul is sitting like the moon. Nothing has happened to the soul. So because we mix them up together, we think something has happened. Preeti, anything you like to? Oh, the child wants to say something.
Say hi, Krishna. Say hi, Krishna. No, Prabhu, I've explained
Yeah, this
that
point.
actually the soul is not moving, but the body is moving. But it appears that the soul is moving, but it's not moving.
Yes. It's an interesting symbolism by people who are watching nature. Oh, beautiful peacock here now. Can you all see the peacock? It's a two parts of picture. Half part is here and half part is here. You have peacocks in America, Preeti?
Yes, Prabhu, Gita Nagri has 42 peacocks. Yes. My children run behind the peacocks, right?
But you brought it from India or they are there peacocks?
They're there. They're there. New Vrindavan has peacocks.
You have seen a peacock dancing? Anybody has seen a peacock dancing with all the feathers out?
Yes, Prabhu.
Huh?
Hmm.
Nupur Mataji, you have seen?
Yes, Prabhuji. I've seen.
Okay, 17. Now, who's going to read this? Uh, who's going to read? Manoj? Manoj's voice is cracking today. I don't know why.
Okay,
Blend is
Prabhuji.
like that. Uh-huh. Vandana Mataji would like to read the 17th one. You are able to see?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Okay. When the clouds appear in the sky, the peacock begins to dance in ecstasy, as a sincere soul becomes overwhelmed with joy on the appearance of a saint in his house. The duty of the duty the duty of sages. Prabhu, can you please increase the font? I am not able to see. Like I am not able to read.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Now this helps.
Yeah, it helps. Okay. Uh, the duty of the sages and saints is to go from door to door and thus enlighten the householders in spiritual knowledge. Householder life is compared to a dark well. In a dark well, the frog cannot see the. Uh,
Now it's better.
yeah, fine, Prabhu. Okay. Householder life is compared to a dark well. In a dark well, the frog cannot see the free light of the open sky. The dark well of the householder life kills the soul. One should therefore get out of it so that he may see the light of spiritual vision. Saints and sages mercifully try to uplift fallen souls from the dark well of householder life. An enlightened householder therefore therefore takes pleasure in the appearance of such saints and sages in his house. The mind of the householder, who is a conditioned soul, is always disturbed by the threefold miseries of material life. Everyone wants to be happy in his life, but the laws of nature do not allow one to become happy in material existence, which is like a spontaneous forest fire. In the age of Kali, as described before, People in general no longer take pleasure in the presence of saints and sages, nor are they interested in spiritual enlightenment. The saints and sages, however, take all risks to propagate the message of Godhead. Lord Jesus Christ, Thakura Haridasa, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and many such sages risked their life to propagate the message of Godhead. Self-realized saints and sages take such risks for the spiritual enlightenment of people in general. They do not take vows of silent men to win cheap glory from the ignorant mass of people. God is satisfied only when his devotees take all sorts of risks to propagate his glories. Such devotees are unafraid of the difficult journey to cross the ocean of nescience. They are always anxious for the welfare of the fallen souls who are uh, what is that word, Prabhu? Who are
Attached.
attached. Okay, who are attached to the false enjoyment of materialistic life, in which they forget their eternal relation with God. It is the duty of the saints and sages to enlighten the fallen souls, and reciprocally, it is the duty of the householder to receive the saints and sages cordially, as the peacock dances in ecstasy at the presence of clouds in the sky. The fire of threefold miseries experienced by materialistic man can be extinguished only by the cloud of mercy of the saints and sages, who can pour down the water of transcendental message to put an end to the miseries of the householders.
Put an end to the miseries of the householders.
Yeah.
You know anybody in Krishna book who danced when Krishna appears at his home? Priti? Who were the king and the Brahmana? Krishna appeared in their home, both of them danced in happiness.
I didn't get the question, Prabhu.
There is in Krishna book instance where Krishna goes and he's with the sages, and he goes parallelly because of his power. He goes in the one city he reaches, and in that city there is a great king who is a devotee, and also there is a poor person who is a great devotee, but he's a Brahmana, great. So he goes to both the places together. Krishna can do that, and he duplicates the sages also. And both the places they are received, and both of them are mad with happiness. Chalo, next week assignment. It's there in Krishna book. Okay? You know the instance, I think you would have read that.
I have read the king. I don't remember the Brahmana. Sudama is coming to my head, but Vidyadhara, King Vidyadhara. That's
There is one more pastime. One more pastime. Okay, that is the assignment, everybody. Locate the king and the Brahmana. Okay, there is one more pastime. Wherein any pastime where a great saint appeared and the receiver became mad with happiness. We read anywhere. Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna book.
great saint appeared and the receiver becomes mad with happiness. So many instances, Prabhu.
Not so many. One.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to the when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I don't know if it was in the house, but when he refuses to see King Kulashekara, but then he by
No,
his
Pratap Rudra. Pratap Rudra.
Pratap Rudra, sorry, Prabhu. But then by his own will, he manifests himself in front of Pratap Rudra when in the chariot festival of Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. He becomes mad in ecstasy. And then Ramananda Rai, when he sees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he becomes very aesthetic.
Okay, I just wanted to speak on that now. Pratap Rudra, today I was developing, maybe that thing, had you told me, I would have connected. I was talking about Brahma Samsparsha, proper develops in the 6th canto, 35th some verse, about our contact with the Supreme Lord as Brahma Samsparsha, the contact. Now there I was talking and I was saying, we should have to properly be in a proper mood to meet the Lord. And Pratap Rudra wanted to meet him as a king, and Krishna never allowed him to meet. But then with the guidance of devotees, he came as an ordinary person, giving away the robes of the king. And he held the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, and he started narrating after holding the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You know that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Pankaj, Hare Krishna, Pankaj.
Hare Krishna, sir.
You can hear us clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually very tired after the Rath Yatra. And the secret was revealed to Pratap Rudra, go like this. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in total ecstasy and, after the Rath Yatra, in total ocean of pleasure. And then he lies down on a bench, intense separation, from Krishna. Ai Deena. Recently reading that Madhundapuri continuously prays that, oh my Lord, you're so merciful, but I'm not able to see you. And in the condition I'm not able to see, your mind is very agitated. What should I do now? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an intense, separation. With an intense separation from the Lord, and he's lying down on the bench in the park. And there King Pratap Rudra comes without the dress of the king, and a very humble mood. And he holds a lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, and he sings Gopi Geet. And when he sings the Gopi Geet, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes so much moved with ecstasy. He gets up and he just embraces it. You know this? So I was discussing, this is the way to meet the Lord. You should be in proper mood. Otherwise, we never see the Lord. Actually, the distance between us and the Lord is not physical distance. The distance is our attitude. From here to Vaikuntha, they say, no, the distance is few billion miles or not. Actually, that is not the distance between us and the Lord. The distance is we don't have a proper service attitude. We don't have proper respect for Krishna. We don't know what is the relation. What is the Preeti? What separates us from the Lord?
The false ego.
Yeah, our ahankara. Yes. Yes, anybody else? Why we are not seeing the Lord now? So at least we should read prayers of Madhavendra Puri. He said, Ai Deena, Lord, by not seeing you, my mind is so agitated. And when will I see you? What should I do now? So helpless. So anyway, we're reading that, we were tasting that yesterday, Chaitanya Charitamrita. That was so touching it was. So this is very nice. So when we see, yes, Rajesh Prabhu, any instance of Bhagavatam, any Chaitanya Charitamrita, any book of Prabhupada, where devotee feels great happiness in meeting a saint at his house? It is said,
Bali Maharaj also felt happy when he met Vamandev.
Yes, great. Bali Maharaj, when Vamandev friends, he felt very fortunate. Anybody? That Mirgari, when Narad Muni landed up with his Parvata Muni, at that Mirgari starts dancing with happiness. And also Prabhupada pastime. Every time Prabhupada appeared in the airport, Preeti would have known, we meet so many American disciples. They used to go mad. Just don't understand that. Recently, did you read that? I shared that quote by Mahatma Prabhu from Dandavats. They asked every devotee how it was with Prabhupada. It was such a touching one. They used to go mad practically just seeing Prabhupada. So that actually is true. That just like a peacock becomes great in ecstasy, and it is said that if you see a devotee and you don't smile, you should fast for that day. You should be very happy. Very nice. So as the peacock dances, we should be very happy when the devotees come to our place. Sincere devotee will overwhelmed with joy in the appearance of saint at his house. Anybody has any more examples to add? This is very nice. There is a picture. This is from Light of Bhagavata, and then there is a pastime. There is some understanding.
So Prabhu, Srinivas Pandit, I don't know if this is an example for that he became happy, but when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to do kirtan at his home in the evening, and one day his son died, but he did not let that disturb.
Yeah. He's just so happy the Lord has come. There is Sarava Bhattacharya when the Lord comes to his house. So many examples are there. They're so happy, so happy. the Lord comes in the mood of a devotee or the great devotee comes. Okay, now we do the next picture. Who is going to read this? Who is able to see it clearly can read the 18th one. Is anybody able to see clearly?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, like to read?
Yeah, Prabhu. May I?
I'll make it one more level bigger. Now can you read better?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah,
I'll continue.
yeah.
Many plants and creepers that were almost dead during the months of April and May are now visible again in various forms, for they are nourished by their roots in the moist earth. These numberless plants and creepers resemble persons who dry up in severe penances for some material gain but then achieve their objectives and become luxuriously fat, nourished by sense enjoyment.
Okay, just read it again. Many plants and creepers that are almost dead in
Many
month
plants
of
and creepers that were almost dead during the months of April and May are now visible again in various forms, for they are nourished by their roots in the moist earth. These numberless plants and creepers resemble persons who dry up in severe penances for some material gain, but then achieve their objectives and become luxuriously fat, nourished by sense enjoyment.
Yeah, what does it mean? I continue.
In Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, it is said that when the daytime of Brahma is over, the manifested creations of universe all vanish, and after the end of Brahma's night, the creation is manifested again. Uh, Bhuta Gramasa evayam bhutaya pradiyate
Bhutva pradiyate. Yeah.
भूत्वा प्रदीयते रात्रि आगमे वसः पार्था प्रभावती अहुर agame. Am I reading correct, Prabhu? Like
Perfect.
those
Continue.
words? Yeah, okay. Again and again the day comes, and his host of beings is active, and again the night falls. O Partha, they are helplessly dissolved. Thus, the cosmic creation, in its manifestation and non-manifestation, resembles the creepers and plants that appear during the rainy season and gradually vanish when the season is over. Even when the plants and creepers are no longer to be seen, their seeds remain, and these dormant seeds fructify in contact with water. Similarly, the seed-like spiritual sparks, who are dominated by the desire to lord it over the material nature, exist in a dormant state after the cosmic manifestation is annihilated. And when the cosmic manifestation reappears, all the silent living beings within the womb of material nature come out and engage in sense enjoyment, thereby growing luxuriously fat. To attain liberation, one must be completely purified of perverted forms of desire. A, a living being cannot snuff out desires, and to practice artificially erasing the actions of desire is more dangerous than the active desires themselves. All desires should be reformed and directed towards spiritual activities. Otherwise, those same desires will repeatedly manifest themselves in different varieties of material enjoyment, thus conditioning the living being perpetually in material bondage.
Can you read a very interesting line? Anybody?
I think Prabhu is a living being cannot snuff out desires, and to practice artificially erasing the actions of desire is more dangerous than the active desires themselves.
So nice it is, huh? Wow, these are all wow lines. Snuff out desires. His every word is careful. Cannot snuff out desire. Practically, artificially erasing desires is not possible. Okay? By directing towards spiritual activities. Otherwise, they will keep manifesting just like seeds. That's what we are doing now. People are, studying in schools and colleges, and what are they doing? Same thing. They practically are like the dried up. They are in so much difficulty. For years, 15 years, 20 years, they work so hard. And then when they get the situation and platform where they get some salary and all, I've seen it practically, they almost go mad with mental enjoyment. They drink, they take drugs, they womanize, they do all obnoxious things. That's what it's saying now. That's saying. Seeds remain in a dormant stage and then they fructify in contact with water. Similarly, seed-like spiritual sparks are also dormant. But when they get contact with the metal energy, they start engaging in sense gratification and they grow luxuriously fat.
Prabhu, we had a big discussion. Actually, I had it with Parijata Mataji. She's a temple president wife in Gitanagri. So it was about the desire. So she concluded at the end that we should be true to our desire and try to find a spiritual way rather than, let's say I want to eat. So rather than not eating, or rather than eating something which is not recommended, I can be true to it that yes, I want to. So I can consult with the devotee and ask that, I have this desire. Can you tell me what is the correct way to execute it? Or we see a lot.
Admit the situation. Also to admit, there is a, we were discussing this last 2 days, that, we think we are good. But actually we don't know what is the definition of good. Good means Sataguna. So we realistically speak in Kali Yuga, we are not in Sataguna. So I'm not a good person. And this much comes actually, it's at the beginning of humility, no? If you think you're a good person, where is humility? Yes. It's a fact. You're not a good person. I'm not a good person because I'm embarrassed of material desires. Okay, now I have to deal with it. I do have a material desire. So how do I, you're saying dovetail it, correct? What you're saying there, Preeti?
Yes. And then she
trying to suppress it. That's what you're saying? Instead of snuffing it, connect.
Actually, she said, the Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what can repression accomplish?
Yes, what can repression accomplish? He tells Arjuna, better fight.
I don't remember the whole shloka, but then this
better fight here. Because if you don't fight here, then you go to the forest and then you will understand that Karna laughed at you. You will hear that Duryodhana laughed at you, the coward ran away. And it will be unbearable for you because you are such a famous person, insult like that. They will say, Darpok Bhagya, and you will commit suicide in the forest. So I think better you die here than commit suicide in the forest. Or in the forest also, your nature will be active. You will see something happening and there also you'll fight. Your nature is to fight. So instead of repressing your nature to fight, better connect it to Krishna. But that's an angle, Preeti, you're saying?
Yes, Prabhu, makes sense. That was for him, but then we build on it that what can repression accomplish? If I have a desire to earn money, I cannot just be happy by cleaning the floor of a temple. Yes, I will, but what can I do? I'm repressing it. So there is got to be a way to dovetail it to Krishna's service. And actually, then she said. Then she brought up that shloka, Akama, Sarva Kama, Moksha Kama, Udharahi. Krishna accept everyone. You have no Akama. You have no action, which is actually a aim of a devotee. Sarva Kama. You are full of desires, or Moksha Kama, or you're aiming for liberation. Krishna says, come to me, don't find anyone else. So it was an interesting discussion, I thought.
You see what happens, there are two angles to it. One angle is that we should not become Sakama Karma Yogi also. Sakama Karma Yogi means I am doing devotion but maintaining material desires. Okay, na? Should not glorify being a Sakama Karma Yogi. Correct? I was telling you previously also. We should not try to become a Sakama Karma Yogi. At the same time, Prabhupada says that devotee is ashamed when he sees his activity, motivation is material desires. Prabhupada devotee feel ashamed. Okay, so it goes parallelly. So many parallel thoughts will go into the thing. But Prabhupada is saying here now how to understand now all these instructions together. It's saying we cannot artificially stuff one's desire. Okay? Artificially erasing the actions of desire is more dangerous. Therefore, in the Vedic culture, they had Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So Brahmana was a person identified who was very sattvic. So he has only urge for knowledge. But there is somebody who has an urge for power and urge for money. But he definitely comes in second and third class category. He's not in the first class category. Correct? That should be obvious. And then what he does is that, so therefore Sakama Karma Yogi has a place, but that's not the highest. Correct? It should be clear. So what a second class, third class person is done, he is under watch. That when he is undergoing activities for money and power, he does not go crazy. Brahmana, they're always under the counsel, like a counselor. Brahmana is always a counselor for Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, so that they dovetail their money making or power hungry tendency for the benefit of the society. Correct? The Varnashram is also the same. We're not repressing it. And Krishna is giving an example of Arjuna because Arjuna took a role of a Kshatriya in the Bhagavad Gita. He has taken a role of a Kshatriya. So a Kshatriya should not artificially speak that I will live by begging, but that's only Akama is allowed. Only Akami can live by begging. A Sakami should not beg. An Akami, Brahmana used to be, had to be, I'm just giving a Vedic setting. An Akami is a Brahmana. He can beg because he's serving the Lord. He has no personal desires. He can receive Dakshina. But the Sakami cannot receive Dakshina. There are Vaishyas and Kshatriyas. Correct? It makes sense? And he therefore guides, he wants knowledge, and other people, he gives a counsel to them so that they don't disturb the society with their material desires. Because they are I think Kshatriya and Vaishya, we can put in Sakama Karma Yogis. They have material desires and they are active. Sakama. I'm just online thinking together with all of you. Artificially, it is not more dangerous than active desires themselves. So Arjuna was artificially saying that I will live a life of begging. Krishna said, wait, Arjuna, you're not a Brahmana, you're a Kshatriya. So therefore, artificially don't take his position. I'm just saying as a role. Otherwise, Arjuna is a much more than a Brahmana. He's a transcendental, eternal state of the Lord. But in the role of a Kshatriya, Krishna is saying, artificially don't take that role. You go through your Kshatriya dharma, which will gradually purify you, so you come to the advanced position. Any other angle? Anybody like to say? Prerna Mataji.
That is.
Prerna Mataji has come. Would you like to say something?
No, Prabhu.
Vandana Mataji. Okay. So thus conditioning the living being perpetually in material bondage. Okay? Perpetually we will be stuck in the material bondage, it is dangerous. Actually, it is, for my experience, it is that when we do our japa in the morning, it should at least bring us to Sattva-guna. It should be done very, very attentively. And then the heart is happy whole day. And the higher instructions we are able to digest. Just like there was Dhruva Maharaj. When he was given a higher instruction, he just could not digest because he wanted to be Sakama Karma Yogi. He did not want to digest the instruction of Narada, of Rishka. Narada told him, Are Baba, how does it matter? What is this kingdom? Hey, see, I'm a Kshatriya. Basically, I'm a Sakama Karma Yogi. Don't give me this instruction. You tell me how do I get Krishna. So that is also one way, but that's a very long way. But we have a process of Harinama, which is actually so powerful. If it is properly practiced, the person can be free from material desires. But then Prabhupada did say, even in the movement, he said in the ISKCON movement, once he asked the devotees to be carefully when you organize the Varnashrama, it will include even the members of the movement. Then devotee asked Prabhupada, why you are saying the members of the movement? So Prabhupada said two things. Number one, you have to give an example to the society. If you are a Kshatriya, you have to even know how to fight. If you are a Vaishya, you have to know how to make money. You have to give a good example. The secondly, Prabhupada said, Vaishnava is a very big thing. It's a very big thing. Don't think just because we are chanting Hare Krishna, we are already gone above Brahmana, because Brahmana is in Satoguna. We are not even in Satoguna now. Correct? So Preeti, both reconciled together. Even in a temple now management, when we give services, if somebody is not sattvic, we don't give him the service of sitting in the temple and doing puja whole day. He cannot handle it. He'll go crazy. If he is not very sattvic, we give him that service of going out, meeting people. That makes him a little peaceful. Just sitting, doing arti, cooking for the Lord. These are all Brahminical activities. We generally give to people. Generally, ideally, if the choice is there, we give it to the person who can do that. What do you say? Patan, yajana, yajana are not easy for everybody. So in various angles it comes. Even in a moment we do double tail. So we don't try to snuff out his ass, because that will be more dangerous than the desire. Because just like some people go to Vrindavan and material life becomes very taxing, they go to Vrindavan and they sit down. Sab chhod diya maine. Sometimes it has that thing. But then when they sit down in Vrindavan, their all material desires are not purified. They choke them and they go mad. You heard like this? They go crazy there. Because the same mind follows you there. But at least here, therefore I feel for the people who are little more free, life is more dangerous for them then. Because at least compared to a devotee, a normal person has a sadhana and is engaged whole day. So at least he's safe in that way, he's engaged. A devotee has a greater opportunity. He can, a full-time devotee, he can serve Krishna whole day, but he has a more danger also now. Because he's free, he can easily go into sense gratification. Correct? An unengaged person, a devotee, is in a dangerous position than a person who is working in office. But if he can be engaged, it's a very fortunate position. What is a Preeti? It makes sense? Therefore, Prabhupada says, the householder position here, we just read. In the sense householder position where he is busy with pound, money, cents, he has to be. To run a house, you have to keep counting money, see how things are going on, what will happen, what is the health, so many things, anxieties will be there, which are all based on the bodily platform. Okay. But he has an advantage, what I'm saying. That advantage is that he has active engagement. A devotee has a great boon. He can serve Krishna 24 hours. But he is dealing with a knife. With the free time, if he is not serving Krishna, he can be destroyed. Artificially erasing actions is more dangerous. And so, instead of just sitting and saying, I have no material desires, he should be very actively engaged in Krishna's service. Otherwise, he will be blown away. And in that case, a person is engaged in work, a Sakama Karma Yogi. Just like Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada once said, very, very nice thing, it fits in nicely. He said in a temple, suppose somebody is using the deity to collect money for eating. He's worse than a man who is sweeping the street and earning hard-earned money. Correct? Some temples they say, you go, can I have darshan? Yeah, give me 5 rupees. They open the altar and they close. Ho gaya, jao, ho gaya tumhara 5 rupees. Aur dekhna aur 5 rupees. Sometimes you go to who has gone? Jagannath Puri you go. You say, I want to see that one temple is there where the place Lord Chaitanya entered one deity. You know that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappearance, he entered one of the deities in Jagannath Puri. So in the chest, there is a mark of the deity. So he takes some money to see that. He doesn't show you. So Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada says, when you make a business like that, you're worse than a man who's sweeping the street and is honestly earning the livelihood. Take various angles to this. Prerna Mataji, you have something to add to this?
Prabhu, is it Tota Gopinath temple?
Yes. Tota Gopinath temple, yes. Okay. Any other angle to this? Yes, Rajesh Prabhu, you like to add something to this?
Yeah, Prabhu. Hare Krishna to all.
Okay, this was a nice line. Yes, Preeti.
Prabhu, I just want to read from one Prabhupada's lecture I heard June 25, 1975 in Los Angeles.
Yeah, tell me.
Can I tell that?
Yeah.
It's a big sentence. Can I tell?
Yeah.
So Prabhupada is saying the Brahmanas should give advice to the Kshatriyas, to the government, and the government, according to the nice, good advice, should maintain the state.
Yeah.
In this way, there will be peaceful condition of the society. Therefore, there is the institution of Varnashrama, Chatur Varna Maya, Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter 13 shloka. Krishna says, I have made this Varnashrama for the benefit of the whole human society, although I do not belong to any Varna ashrama. Krishna has nothing to do but to maintain the human society very peaceful, advancing in spiritual knowledge. This Varnashrama is required. Therefore, sometimes I become very eager to start a Varnashrama college. We have nothing to do with Varnashrama, we, Krishna, but we want to see that the whole human society is peaceful. That is our mission. Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu. This is the desire of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And those who are servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they should also desire how to do good for the whole human society.
Yeah. So how does it connect here?
So Prabhupada is saying we have nothing to do with Varnashrama, but he becomes very eager to start
Yeah, that's
one
what I
Varnashrama college.
Varnashrama implementation. Varnashrama implementation. True, Varnashrama cannot be started unless you have cows. Because Varnashrama whole thing is living with the cows. You have to have Gurukul. First thing you have to have cows. Then you have to have agriculture. Then you have to have Gurukul. And then you can set up Varnashrama, correct? You cannot just set up in the city like this. It requires lot of work. And you have to create a situation for Varnashrama to set up. You cannot go in the street, hey, come here. You're a Shudra, you're a Vaishya. We cannot do so. Or other ways we can do is that people who are engaged in different activities, by identifying whether it is a Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Brahmana activity, we can give them some training. That is another way we can do, Preeti, in the cities. So you are engaged in doctor profession, Preeti. So you are engaged in actually Brahmana's work. Because Vaidya is a Brahmana. Okay? So he give you some training so that you can do your profession nicely. I'm just thinking aloud. Somebody is engaged in a work which is more of a business work. So we give him a training so you basically, along with the profession comes qualities. I joke to you, I went to the engineering colleges and I think younger Preeti remembers, I took a course for them, professional ethics. And when I read that course, it is actually Shudra's qualities. They didn't know. I was internally laughing. Be honest, don't lie. These are all Shudra is supposed to learn. So every profession has some professional qualities. So professional skills anyway is learning. People know the skills of the profession. But seeing his profession to do the profession, because anyway, just like Arjuna is wearing the shoes of a Kshatriya, you should have Kshatriya qualities. So even though he's a Param Vaishnava, so we may be Param Vaishnavas, who knows? But presently you're playing the role of a Kshatriya, so you should have Kshatriya qualities with you. So we can give him the Kshatriya qualities. You go to soldiers, they should have Kshatriya qualities. What do you say? That way we can contribute. We have Varnashrama college, and Shudras, there is at least the first three we can train. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. Shudra, yes, we are doing. We go and tell, be honest, don't tell lie, don't steal. This is the professional ethics. You see, all the qualities are like that. What way we will do, Preeti?
No, Prabhu, I brought it up because Prabhupada is saying that because Varnashrama, according to my understanding, may be completely wrong. The Varnashrama, the Chatur Varnam is there because of different desires of every living entity.
But at the same time, no, we cannot destroy proper movement. This is destroying proper movement. Proper movement is very, very clear. We should be ashamed if you have material desires.
Yes, but
we should be ashamed. We got it. We are not just like Dhruva Maharaj. Yeah, please maintain. That's fine. That's just people don't want to give up material desires, and we give them recognition and encouragement for that. That is not fine. No? You understand? Just like Dhruva Maharaj is there. He's saying, I want to maintain material desires. If somebody comes in a temple and says, no, Prabhu, I want a lot of money. I'm not going to encourage that. I said, this is not a standard of a devotee. What is this?
Prabhu, I agree with you, but the issue or the question that I have is that Okay, but this is an internal guilt. I cannot be like
No, you try to
going
understand.
around and telling, oh, I'm such a bad person.
Why I'm telling you? Because America is generally, presently, temples have very few temple devotees. It's a congregation-based movement. So they tend to shift the philosophy to, okay, it's fine. But in India, it's temple devotee-based movement. Mostly they're temple devotees. And when I'm preaching to temple devotees, the instructions are different. When I'm preaching to congregation, my instructions are different. When I'm preaching to donors, my instructions are different. When I'm teaching to young students, my instructions are different. So therefore, you'll find instruction little different. I talked to a temple visitor in America. He's preaching to as a congregation. He will not give you the same instruction I give to a temple devotee. He will not give. What he is instructing to a temple devotee, he will not give you the same instruction. You understand? Situation is different. You cannot give the same instruction to everybody. He'll not be able to digest. Correct? Correct. So different ways we can interpret. I told you a long time back. I always am against Sakama Karma Yoga somehow being given a place. It's not place. It doesn't have any place in the movement. Prabhupada has given pure bhakti. In fact, all the examples in Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you notice, it is attacking mixing of pure bhakti with some material desires. In the movies, what happens, all the examples is tamoguna is being removed and rajoguna is being, or sattoguna is being, correct? And if you take up Bhagavatam, take up any pastime, when Narad Muni meets Prachina Barishad, who's doing a lot of fruitive activity, he says, no, you should do pure bhakti. So pure bhakti is being separated out again and again, again and again. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Raghunath Das Goswami leaves his home and joins Lord Chaitanya, you take everywhere, pure bhakti is being, just like when you boil jaggery, you get pure sugar at the end. So you have to keep removing the kachara. So throughout, we should be very willing to remove the kachara and acknowledge the kachara is there. Okay? That's what whole Bhagavatam is doing. We cannot undo that job. Whole Bhagavatam continuously, Veda Vyasa is, instead of meditating on the Lord, is focused on the impersonal Brahman. Then he is being corrected by Narada. Why are you promoting Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha? We should talk about pure bhakti. You see, continuously, the discussion is to bring out pure bhakti. You take anywhere in the Bhagavatam, the pure bhakti is being brought out, separated from the material desires. Correct? Maybe the difference is because of the place. In India, generally, we don't present to devotees mixed thing. Okay, you have material desires, so let us think how to deal about it. We give little higher instructions.
No, it's not that. Let's see how to deal about it. That's not what I meant, and that's not my 10 years here have taught me also, Prabhu. I'm sorry if I said it in the wrong way, but what I meant was that let's say students come to the Boston temple. Recently, they welcomed all the Northeastern University students and they had a program. Now, those students, they'll continue to come. Temple has courses arranged for them. Then they have activities arranged for them in a nice manner. But at the end, if they are not joining as brahmacharis, but that I don't think personally that's a failure because they got the instruction. They are going to live the life of that.
Failure, but that is the highest. It is always the highest.
But temple should be able to sustain also, and I don't see that in the temple.
Then temple is sick. Then temple is sick. The issue is always in a healthy temple. The highest thing is when somebody comes, he can become a brahmachari. When somebody comes, always. Why Prabhupada pushed continuously? Why did he make 5,000 full-time brahmacharis? In fact, Prabhupada time, Diksha meant full-time. You have seen it. You are in or out those days, correct? So we should see it in many angles. Like in India, we give always the highest principle that, okay, you may have material desire, but we give some engagement to him so that, knowing he's little restless, we keep him busily engaged. But you don't encourage him, oh, very nice, very nice. So, otherwise, who will join the temple? Nobody will join the temple. Why you should join?
Yes.
And the amount of service, we know one full-time devotee is equal to 100 congregation devotees, at least 100 in India. There may be 10. It is service 100. Congregation means weekend warriors, and they're also not sure. He may be busy. He can do, imagine, at least 20 times, 30 times of work. How much service is able to do? We have the very nice expression devotee gave. It's like a ICU and outpatient ward. A doctor can understand that. Outpatient ward means, somebody may be just like you may be very serious, but other person, we don't know what he's doing at home. But ICU means he has an opportunity, is continuously watched. And that also helps a lot. It helps a lot. I personally feel now, when I was a brahmachari in Bangalore, actually I benefited so much. Somebody was always watching me. I feel little worried because nobody is watching me. I'm, here, nobody instructs me, which is actually very dangerous. You understand? You're more free. But when in a temple, you're always, just like you said, the devotee is so happy when another devotee lands at his place. So living in the association of devotees, that's all in the temple. Temple is not just a building. Living in the association of devotees, intensely whole day planning how to expand Prabhupada's mission. How can he take away? That is the highest. How can he take? That is always the highest. So in India, that is practically moving on. No? The temples, there are some temples who have 200, 300 brahmacharis. Mayapur has around 800 brahmacharis. So how can he take it away? It is happening. That is always the highest. Okay. Okay, we go to the next one. Yeah, who will read this? Anybody? Rajesh, you are able to see this 19th one?
Yeah, yeah. A crane stands on the edge of a pond that is always disturbed by flowing water, mud, and stones. The crane is like a householder who is disturbed in the shelter of his home, but who, because of too much attachment, does not want to change his position.
Yeah.
The forgetful householder life of the conditioned soul is a soul dark well. This is the opinion of Sri Prahlad Maharaja, the celebrated devotee of the Lord. Too much attachment for help, for hearth and home is never recommended by a self-realized soul. Therefore, the span of human life should be methodically divided. The first stage is called the Brahmachari Asrama, on the order of life in childhood, when the man to be is trained in the ultimate goal of life. The next stage is the Grahastha Asrama, in which the man is trained to enter into the transcendence. Then comes the Vanasprat Ashram, the preliminary stage of renounced life. The last stage recommended is the sannyasa order or the renounced order of life. In this way, one accepts a gradual process of spiritual activities for the ultimate goal of liberation. Want of sufficient culture of the human spirit, no one wants to give up the householder life, even though it is full of pinpricks and mud. And those who are too attached amidst the pinpricks of muddy householder life are compared to the cranes that stand on the bank of the river for some sense enjoyment. Despite all the inconveniences there, we should always remember that the society, friendship, and love we are supposed to enjoy in family life are only shadowy representation of the real society, friendship, and love reciprocated in the kingdom of God. There is no really there is no reality and love reciprocated in the kingdom of God. There is no reality in the conditioned life of material existence, but
But
because of our ignorance, we are attached to the mirage. The idea of society, friendship, and love is not at all false, but the place where we search for it is false. We have to give this false position and rise to the reality. That should be the aim of life, and that is the result of cultivating the human spirit. Unfortunately, for want of sufficient culture, the materialistic man always sticks to the false place in spite of all its turmoils. It is said that a man should give up the order of householder's life at the age of 50. But in the era of ignorance, even an old man wants to rejuvenate his body functions, put artificial teeth, and make pretense of youthful life, even on the verge of death. Crane like politicians, especially, are too much attached to the false prestige of position and rank, and so they always seek re election. Even at the fag end of life, there are some of the symptoms of uncultured life. Uncluttered life.
Yeah, pick out a
Uncultured.
line from this which we can discuss. Anybody?
Prabhu, the first line itself, Matirna Krishna Paratu Satova.
The forgetful householder life, soul killing. Which one? This one?
Yes, Prabhu.
The soul killing dark. And therefore, was a Varnashma in the. Preeti, your Varnashma has come again.
Let's
You only
go back.
talks about Kshatriya and the Brahmachari girls. Prabhupada came to correct both. Hey, Brahmachari girls, Vanaprastha, yes. And okay. So we should not be too attached. We should find some time. Sometimes we become overly anxious about, because we have a responsibility, but at the same time, we should find some time, invite devotees to our house, correct? And actually, it is when I was working in Infosys, and I used to go to temple and see devotees jumping. Actually, they have no anxiety; they're so blissful, nothing to worry about. That makes it so blissful. It's a great fortune, actually. It's a great fortune. Vanapras ashram, then comes Vanapras. Actually, it's true. So they used to, Brahmachari used to go to Gurukul. But it is possible sometimes that he may not come back home at all. So he takes sannyas. But sometimes he comes back home, then he takes grahastha Vanapras and again goes back to the Guru and takes continuous spiritual life. Isn't it, Preeti? Yes. Anna? Normal is Brahmachari Grahastha Vanapras sannyas. So your Preeti is correct there. You have to go step by step. But it is allowed sometimes, so Brahmachari can directly go to sannyas. True?
Yes, Prabhu. That is the best, actually.
This is artificial teeth. Anybody has seen? I have not. How? I heard it. They in the night they keep the teeth in a pot, water, something. ऐसा होता है क्या पंकज? रात को दांत निकाल के पानी के बर्तन में रख देते हैं बूढ़े लोग. Prabhupada is talking about the politician crane like who do not give up, which is very, very true in India. I don't know how it is in America. They all die. Here some person is there. What is his name? I don't know. He's opposed to Trump in Republican Party. Somebody. And he just had a major brain tumor, something like that. Still, he got it operated. Still back. At old fag end, he's just facing death, but he doesn't know there is something higher to do. So they have example now of a crane that is sticking on the edge. He can come out of water, but he still cannot give up water. Even though, what is the proper say? Even though there is so many mud and thorns there, he's not able to give up. Water is such a thing. Whenever you go for a pilgrimage, we have that experience. The biggest part is when you schedule over time. If you are giving them time to go for bathing, that whole thing goes haywire. The moment they go inside river, they just can't come out. They like to sit there for 2 hours, 3 hours. They love so much. So similarly, these cranes also may seem like do not want to come out of water, even though it is so much inconveniences there. Vedic culture, it was so nicely organized, methodically. Okay, we go to the next one. If anybody has something, we can add whatever little we know we are speaking. 20th, who's going to read now? Rajesh, huh?
There's one particular line in the previous paragraph.
Which one?
The idea of society, friendship, and love is not at all false, but the place where we look for it is false. Second paragraph.
Yeah, society, friendship, and love divinely bestowed upon man. Third one, okay. A shadowy representation of the real society, friendship, love reciprocated in the kingdom of God. Yeah.
The idea of society. The next sentence after that.
There is no reality.
Yeah. The next sentence.
Preeti, you have something to say to her on this?
Prabhu, in your presentation of IQ, EQ, and SQ, there is a ladder in which there is a person climbing up on the ladder.
Yeah.
And you explain that particular picture in context of this. That we are actually in a race. We have a standard set by the society. You go to the school, and after the school, you have to have a good education. So you have to go to a college. What is the use of going to the college if you don't have a good job? And what is the use of having a good job if the job is not giving you good money? And what is the use of having a good money if you don't have a class in society, if you don't have a high class friendship, or if you don't own a good house that you can invite people. So, and
something I wanted to say, something I never presented them so well. Yes, so many colleges are opened up for me. If you can present, maybe you can make some devotees. I get maybe 10%. How much Pankaj? कितना लोग पकड़ते थे हम लोग? 10%, no? Hare Krishna, Pankaj, you are muted. Muting निकालो. Oh, he is muted. So you can catch much more, Preeti. Maybe you will catch 70-80%. Yeah.
No, actually, and I'll give you one prerna. I'll give you one realization that I had when I was a resident. So when you're a resident, when you're in training, you see different sicknesses, right? So different sicknesses handled by different level of education by doctors, right? So what would you expect if there is a child who's healthy, comes for a physical, and then goes home healthy? And then there is a doctor who's seeing very sick children, very sick, like extremely sick. They come to this country just to get treated, born with heart disease, and admitted, had open heart surgeries, and then very complicated, on the edge of dying. They're so fragile. That doctor. So actually, what would you expect? Which doctor will be more humble? Both should be humble, but we should be more humble. The one who is handling a healthy child who's not dying right now, or the one who's handling a child who is on the edge of dying any minute. That's coding. He may code. What would you expect? Tell me. You're muted. Prerna.
Yeah. From experience, I feel that the person who's not handling a complicated child's case, he would hold more pride.
Is that your experience, or is that your expectation?
Experience. That the person
my experience is different. My experience is that the person who is handling more sick child is very proud. They're so proud that it's so hard to speak to them. I have dealt, right? When you're getting trained, they're so proud. And I feel like, why are you so proud if you're handling someone who's gonna die next minute? And I give you one more example. Last month, no, July, I went to Philadelphia for an interview in a very big hospital of this country. It's called Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Okay, so there was this doctor who was rounding, and he said that they were rounding in cardiac care unit for children. Those children are very sick. They are like very. It's a very sick is an underestimation of their sickness. So he said, okay, now what we're inventing is that we don't know what drug is going to work. So what we're going to do is we are inventing, and we are the first hospital in this country that we're going to take the blood, we're going to send it to the lab, and then the blood will be exposed to different medications, and we will see the effect of each medicine, how it is helping with the disease process. So everybody was like, wow, like this is amazing, like all the residents and the fellows. And I think I was the odd one out. I was feeling, my God, can you still save this person from dying even if you do this? So they're not humble. They are very proud. They feel they can defeat the death. They feel they can defeat the disease. Actually, it's not. So that is the idea of society, friendship, love. So if you talk like this, it can impress so many people, right? That I'm so educated and we are developing so high-tech techniques to save the life or to fight the disease. But this is false. The more you get complicated, the more complications you will face. It doesn't get simple. When you're in school, you think, oh, college life is going to be better. But when you go to the college, you face more complications. Then you say, okay, 3 saal ki baat hai. I'm going to work and I'm going to have a gala life. It's going to be simple, right? But when you start working, it gets more complicated. And then when you develop your work, when you are going, then you feel, okay, only 10, 30 years, 40 years of my life, I'm going to be retired. I'm going to be like, this is a struggle for 40 more years. I've done so much. Let's just do it. And after they retire, the life actually gets more complicated because the body is now giving away. And one devotee, I heard his lecture, it was so funny. He said, but we patch up. We know how to patch up. If the knees are not acting, then we go for knee replacement. We do the patch up work. If the hair are turning gray, we color it. So we patch up, but it doesn't. So the idea is that the place is false. The happiness is always a future check, future dated check, and it goes on.
Rajesh Prabhu, is it true? Life gets more and more complicated as you grow up? He's the eldest. You're the eldest here to guide us.
So it all get complicated. The kind of consciousness you have, I must say, and if you're Krishna conscious, then it doesn't matter which stage you are. But we should be in a Krishna consciousness always, which is very tough challenge, I must say.
But your life is becoming happier day by day. Prabhuji is becoming more and more Krishna conscious.
All individual experience, of course, person to person it may vary.
But her analysis of material life is okay. For a material life, they do get more and more complicated as they grow up.
Yeah, true. Material life is complicated. That's why the spiritual potency is much more important than the material potency.
But material life does get more complicated. Is that right? Her analysis looks reasonable, right? Because health starts breaking down after some time. A lot of anxieties come for our own health. So many ways we break down.
Yeah, that's why in one of the lecture I was attending, they say we must start in a very early age, and we must see that it doesn't deplete, it increase. So if like my childhood, if I remember, it was very spiritual. My mother, I used to go with my mother to the Ganges and take a bath in the Sangam in Allahabad when we were there. It had a very nice childhood memories I have. But as I grew, I start forgetting all those things. And recently, when I got transformed with the Krishna consciousness, I'm thinking things are coming back to me. Of course, personal experience. I don't know. I only pray to Prabhupada that this remains with me, and I grow more on the spirituality platform. This time will tell. And I need to be the sadhu sangha devotees. That's why I keep visiting Bangalore quite frequently, and I've been blessed that I'm coming to Bangalore quite frequently, and I'm having togetherness and with the all the devotees. Hostility when I visited last week to you.
Oh.
No.
Chalo, one more Prabhuji, we do. You like to read this?
Can you ask Prerna? Can you ask Prerna?
Prerna Mataji, you didn't get
Her question is answered. If her question is answered.
Prerna Mataji is fine.
Yeah, Preeti Mataji, I did not have a question. That particular sentence, it just it is appealed to me so much, and yes, you elaborated very nicely on it.
So
at the end, it doesn't mean that you should not go to the college and you should renounce it, but you should go with full knowledge what to expect.
Yes, yes. So that particular word that, the idea of love, society and friendship, but the place where we are looking for it is wrong. I mean, so that sentence just made it look very meaningful.
Chalo. Everybody now, next shloka, look for a nice line, okay? Who's going to read? Prerna Mataji, you like to read? You didn't read today?
Yes, Prabhu.
Read, start 20th. Yeah, start Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Fierce torrents of rain break over the strands and the partition walls of the paddy field. These disturbances resemble those created by the seasonal opponents of the standard principle of the Vedas, who are influenced by the age of Kali. Originally, the path of self-realization was established by the standard direction of the Vedas. Srila Vyasadeva divided the original Veda into 4 divisions, namely Sama, Atharva, Rik and Yajur. Then he divided the same Vedas into 18 Puranas, supplements, and the Mahabharata. And then again the same author summarized them in the Vedanta Sutras. The purpose of all these Vedic literatures is to realize one's self to become a spiritual being, eternally related with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the all-attractive form Sri Krishna. But all these Vedic literatures were systematically distorted by the onslaught of the age of Kali, as the walls of the paddy field and the strand of the river are distorted by the onslaught of heavy rains. The attacks of distortion are offered by the atheistic philosophers who are connected only with eating, drinking, being married, and enjoying. These atheists are all against the revealed scriptures because such persons are intimately attached to the sense pleasures and gross materialism. There are also others who do not believe in the eternity of life. Some of them propose that life is ultimately to be annihilated and that only the material energy is conserved, concerned with the physical laws, but do not believe anything beyond their experience. And still others equate spirit and matter and declare the distinction between them to be illusory. There is no doubt that the Vedas stand as the most recognized books of knowledge from every angle of vision. But over the course of time, the Vedic path has been attacked by philosophers like Charvaka, Buddha, Arhat, Kapila, Patanjali, Shankara, Vaikaran, Jaimini, the Nayakas, the Vaishyashikas, the Sagunists, the Empiricists, the Pashupat Shaivas, the Saguna Shaivas, the Brahmas, the Aryans, and many others. Aryas, and many others. That is, the list of non-Vedic speculators grows daily without restriction.
Chalo, next.
The path of the Vedas does not accord with any principle devoid of an eternal relation with God, attainment of His devotional service, and culmination in transcendental love for Him.
Yes, done. Okay, who will explain this? Anybody understand? Understood this. You understood the meaning of this, Prerna Mataji? What does it say? You start.
Yes, Prabhu, when we try to tell somebody even about the very first teaching of the Bhagavad Gita saying the soul and the body are two different things, some people who believe in the process of reincarnation, they believe that, okay, there is something called soul. But then again, they might believe that reincarnation happens as in we go to hell or heaven, and after that, there's no existence. After we die, we either go to hell and heaven, and there it ends. So, and some people, they only believe that some people say that they don't even feel a superior energy. They don't feel the presence of soul. They just say everything is science. So sometimes it becomes very difficult because people don't want to believe anything. They don't want to question it also. They don't want to introspect it also. There are different classes of people.
So these are how many philosophers, my God. You know,
Yeah.
all this philosophy. Charvaka is hedonism. Okay, let us see whom you know. Buddha, we know, that is Shunyavada. Hedonism basically means let me enjoy my life and be happy. I'm just going briefly, please correct me. Okay. Buddha, we know Buddha is Shunyavada. After death, everything is finished, becomes merged with Panchabhuta. Arhat, I don't know. Kapila, we know. Kapila is not the Kapila we are talking about, which is in Bhagavatam. This is an atheistic Kapila being mentioned. He talked Sankhya, where he divides the metal energy into different elements, but there is no information of God here. Patanjali, in the sense that he did not again glorify the Supreme Lord. Shankara, again, he did not glorify the Supreme Lord. He talked about we are not bodies, we are spirit, soul. Vaikarana, I don't know. Jaimini, he doesn't mention Karma Mimamsa theory by Jaimini. So if you do good, you get good. That's it. You don't need God. Karma Mimamsa theory. Because, okay, there's a different discussion. Nayakas, I don't know. Vaisheshikas, Prabhupada does mention this philosophy of Vaisheshikas in Bhagavad Gita, in the reference that he says, when material energy combines together, let me be sure, I'm not sure what is this philosophy. Sagunis, I don't know. Empiricis, no. Pashupat Shaivas, maybe similar to Shankaracharya, maybe some variety of Shankaracharya philosophy. Shaguna Shaivas, another maybe variety of Shankaracharya philosophy. Brahmas, I don't know. Arya may be referring to Arya Samaj. They say they're very civilized, but they don't accept deity worship. And many others grows deity. The essence what Prabhupada is saying is, anybody knows any one of these people? Any which I did not know? But essence is that they are not accepting pure devotion service. So it's like an effect of Kali Yuga. They break that. Prabhupada said actually, because always everything which was pure devotion I upheld, I met so many enemies in this world. Correct? People don't like. The situation is that every day if he wants to feel he's in a prestigious position. So if you say this is not pure devotion, he gets angry. That's the nature of this world. So you go to people who are maintaining Devata worship. It says it's not good. We are going for some material desire. He gets very hurt. No, this is correct. This is the way it is. There was somebody who came to connect to me and he was said, I'm from IIT. I came to know you're from IIT. Can I talk to you? I said, okay. So he was in first year. He talked about how he met one girl. I said, why you're speaking all this rubbish to me? It's not good. No, we have to do our karma. He's not agreeing. That is not the highest. The age of Kali, the onslaught, what it happens, it will break the path of pure pleasure, of pure devotion. You know, there is something called sweetest taste when you serve Krishna without any material desire. uh, there is the sweetest taste. Today, what we discussed, Brahma Samsparsha, connection to the Lord, which gives so much satisfaction. Savai Pumsa Paradharma, Yata Bhakti, Adhokshaje, Ahatuki Apratiyata, Yayatma Suprasidati. So, when you are offering, as you increase your quality of devotion service to Krishna, Yatma Suprasidati. Because that's Prabhupada talks about the Goswamis, you know, they were so rich. But then they left everything and they came to Vrindavan. They were just wearing very humble dress, but they were not feeling sad because they got treasure or love of Krishna. So the devotee is happy with that treasure. Therefore, he gives away all the other material treasures. But then the path of Kali, what happens? All this is attacked. Your devotion is attacked. Atheistic philosophers will come and attack pure bhakti to the Lord. And these are things are there. People, I think you all people knowing these philosophies. Anybody knows who is Arhat being referred? Let us go. Charvaka, we all know. Everybody knows Charvaka. Charvaka is atheism, total. Bhasmi bhutasa dehasa kimva puram. He says, Yavat jivam sukham jivet. As long you live happily. And when you die, who has seen? Ridam karta gridam pive. You beg, borrow, steal. You eat all food made in ghee. Like that. Okay. Anything to add?
Prabhu, the meaning of Arhat is given as one who is worthy or who has attained perfection. That is Nirvana.
That's okay, but who is this? Arhat, is it the Jain philosophy? I'm suspicious.
Oh, Buddhist philosophy.
Which philosophy is it? Jainism?
Buddhist.
Huh?
Buddhist, Prabhu. Buddhism.
Oh, he's part of Buddhism?
Yeah.
Okay. Arhat. Kapila. There are some books by the Goswamis where they have taken and analyzed each and every philosophy and shows where there is a difference. There are some books by them. Preeti, we are satisfied or we want to do more?
I can do more. It's afternoon for me.
Prerna Mataji, it's time to sleep. Or you are sleeping 1 o'clock nowadays. You changed, no?
No, Prabhu, only yesterday. Today I have to sleep early. Tomorrow I have to go.
And just read this meaning. The wind carries the clouds to different parts of the globe, and the cloud distributes rains to satisfaction of people in general. Just as rich kings and merchants distribute accumulated wealth inspired by religious priests. For next time. After the complete rainy season, the forest of Vrindavana was full of fruits like the dates and blackberries ripened on the trees and bushes. Lord Shri Krishna, along with the elder Brother Baladev and other cowherd boys of the vicinity, entered the beautiful forest accompanied by cows, blissful transcendental pastime with the eternal. After the complete rainy season, the forest of Vrindavana was full of fruits like dates and blackberries ripened. Trees. Lord Krishna, along with elder Brother Baladev, entered the beautiful forest. When the Lord entered the forest of Vrindavana, all the inhabitants of the forest, both animate and inanimate, were eager to receive him. He saw the flowers of the forest all fully blossoming, were weeping in ecstasy, honey flowing down their petals. The waterfalls and the hilly rocks were gladly flowing, and one could hear the sweet sounds in the caves nearby. After all the discussion, we are entering the Krishna Leela directly. With all the discussion, see? The Lord reciprocated the feelings of the inhabitants of forest of Vrindavana. When there was rainfall, the Lord took shelter at the foot of the trees or in the caves and enjoyed the taste of the different fruits with eternal estates and covered hands. He played with them, sat with them, and ate fruits with them. Who will read? Preeti, you like to read? Just a
Yes,
translation.
Prabhu.
Yeah.
The Lord enjoyed in the company of Lord Baldev and the other cowherd boys, and sometimes sat with them on the same stone slab. While sitting, they ate simple food like rice, dal, vegetables, bread, and curd, which they had brought from their homes and which they shared in friendly exchanges.
You can all see the pictures. Yeah.
After good rains, the grazing ground for the animals was full of green pasture, and both the bulls and the cows sat down on the grass fully satisfied. The cows, followed by their calves, appeared tired of grazing because of full milk bags. Calmly and quietly, the cows and calves rested and ruminated, chewing their cud.
Can you see the picture? Yeah, now we read.
The fully beautiful scenery after the rainy season was attractive to the eyes of everyone, including Sri Krishna, the cause of all causes. The fully beautiful scenery after
Same.
the rainy season.
I repeated. Yeah.
Thus the rainy season came to an end, the autumn began, and there were no more clouds in the sky. All the reservoirs of water became crystal clear, and the wind was no longer forceful. Lord Krishna, along with his elder brother Lord Baldev, thus lived at Vrindavan in this auspicious season. In the autumn, all the reservoirs of water became enriched with growing lotuses. The muddy water again becomes normally clear and decorated, as fallen conditioned soul once more becomes spiritually enriched in devotional service.
Okay, Preeti, you can read this translation. I want to read something positive, so that we end with a very nice positive note. Yeah.
We should not be disappointed in our muddy life of material existence, for as soon as we voluntarily take to the devotional service of the Lord, our whole life becomes clear, like water in the autumn. Devoid of our relationship with God, our life is barren. But as soon as the muddy mind is cleared by spiritual association or cultivation of the human spirit, the threefold miseries of material life are at once cleared off. Thus, the lotus of knowledge gradually fructifies, and this gradual process of development ushers in transcendental bliss. The whole spiritual process is technically called yoga or linking with the Supreme. It is something like a long staircase, and the upward steps are variously designated as regulated work, transcendental knowledge, mystic powers, and ultimately bhakti yoga, devotional service. Bhakti yoga is pure and unalloyed, being entirely beyond all the preliminary steps. Such unalloyed devotional service in favor of the Supreme Lord was displayed at Vrindavan when the Lord descended there, and thus the yoga exhibited by the gopis of Vrindavan is the highest unalloyed love of Godhead, the perfection of Bhakti Yoga. To rise to the stage of love shown by the gopis is very difficult, but this stage is attainable for serious conditioned souls. Unfortunately, cheap neophytes make a show of transcendental ecstasies of the gopis, bringing them onto the mundane plane for perverted manifestations and thus clearing the way to hell by such unwanted caricatures. Serious students of yoga, however, practice it seriously, and thus they attain the highest. I can't see the last line, Prabhu. Highest perfection in Bhakti Yoga, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Yoginam api sarvesham mad gaterantaratmanaha shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yuktatmano mataha. And of all the yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 47 shloka.
Okay.
Prabhu, something came to my mind. After, when we reached to this 30, plate number 30, Prabhu, can I please request you to share the first prayer of the Shastakam Cheto Darpana Marjanam?
30 with 30.
Yeah, Prabhu, when we come to this, because the first line Prabhupada's writing is the mind gets clear of
You should
all the
not get
muddy.
disappointed with the muddy life. Now, basically, the point is that, this encouragement line, no? We are all in a situation of muddy life of material existence. But as soon as we voluntarily, it is for us and we are not doing it. See, so when voluntarily we take up a devotion service, whole life becomes clear. Okay, so you say this will all remember like Cheto Darpar Marjana, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, nice. So nice today, Preeti. You all came. I would
Thank you,
just
Prabhu.
wanted some ecstatic line to end, which I am able to understand, and then everybody will be waiting next time to join. Just search something. The beautiful white cloud, free from all burdens of water distribution, floated in midair, like mendicants free from all family responsibilities. Oh, there's the picture. This is the Chinese mendicant. Anna?
Yes, Prabhu.
Look at the way his face cut and with the dress. We don't wear
But
this.
he looks peaceful.
Yeah, yeah, free from all.
Oh, Prabhu, I did the homework. Vaman Dev, Prerna asked last time the question. Bali Maharaj becoming Indra in next life.
Yeah.
So you were right, Prabhu. It says in Bhagavatam that during the reign of another Manu, not in this Manu's life, he will be Indra.
Presently, Vaivasvata Manu. Okay, rain. In the next Manu, he will become the Indra, no?
Yes, Prabhu. It says
Presently,
in Bhagavatam.
so that's fine, no? Then somebody questioned this. Prerna Mataji only questioned this, no? So now the people come, Bali Maharaj comes, so he is still in Sutala, he has not become Indra. He comes to Kerala every year. He took one concession, that which is not mentioned in Bhagavatam, that can I see my people subjects once in a year. So he does come, and there is a huge celebration in Kerala that day. You know, culture is so strong. People don't know what they're doing. They don't know actually. They don't know so much. What is Bali Maharaj? What did he pray? Who is Prahlad? They don't know, I think, most of them. But the culture forces them, you know, to come every year as a celebration. Okay, Mataji, we close it now. 11 o'clock in India. Yes, Manoj, Hare Krishna, Manoj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Anything you wanted to say today?
No, Prabhuji, sir.
Good to see everybody today. We see
Yes.
sometimes somebody. Today everybody is there. Nupur Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Manoj is all the time. Nupur Mataji, yes, we missed you last time. Nice, you
Yes.
saw this is good. This with pictures, the discussion. The
Yes,
thoughts
yes,
are very
Prabhuji.
strongly in the mind. And I request everybody can read, including me. So we come with some nice points to discuss. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Pankaj,
Yes, bro.
you can look for this. Manoj, you have already shared the book. You can share with other people. Anybody wants, contact Manoj. He will give you the PDF of the book. Light of
Okay,
Bhagavad.
Okay.
Pankaj, Hare Krishna, Pankaj.
Hare Krishna.
Fine.
Ah.
Everything is fine. Now,
Fine.
where are you? You're in Bangalore or back in you finish your course?
No. It's been. I'll finish it in December.
Oh,
I'm
fine.
in Bangalore now. My
Yeah.
course will finish in December.
Okay, good. How was Janmashtami? Was grand?
It was nice.
You liked this time? Yes. They did so much service, Preeti. He was here. Hey, tell Rohan also he can come for the program. He misses Sunday night.
Okay. I will inform them.
Yes. Yes, Preeti, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. He's
We'll
accepting
continue
me.
our discussion. Sakama, Akama will continue. It's a nice discussion. Devotees sometimes have so many discussions. Even DT versions they have. No, we will do like that.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Sujata Mataji, Prerna I think is gone. Taken rest. Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Sujata Mataji, today we had such a huge Sankirtan in the evening. Oh, very, very. Yes, Vandana Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
When you are coming, you are in Bangalore?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm in Bangalore.
Chalo, we exit now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.